Ladies and gentlemen, now listen up, because I'm about to give you something that's going to stay with you. Something that's not just going to make you feel good for a moment, but something that's going to sit in your spirit and make you think. We live in a world where people will tell you what love is supposed to look like. They'll say it's the butterflies, the romance, the good morning texts. But let me tell you something. The man God sends for you, he ain't just about flowers and sweet words. No, no, no. He's about foundation. He's about faith. He's about the kind of love that endures, not just excites. You see, when God sends a man for you, he's not sending you just any man. He's sending you a leader, a protector, a man who's got his priorities straight. And the first sign, he leads you closer to God, not to himself, not to the world, but to the one who created you. A real man, a man of God, will pray with you, pray for you, and make sure your relationship is built on something stronger than just emotions. Now let's talk about love. Not the love you see in movies, not the love that's all about temporary highs. No, I'm talking about real love. A love that's patient, that's kind, that doesn't boast. A man who loves you the way God commands is a man who respects you. He doesn't manipulate. He doesn't control. He doesn't break your spirit. He protects it. If he's constantly tearing you down, making you question your worth, let me tell you something. He's not from God. And let's be real, life is hard. Storms will come. But when God sends a man into your life, he won't run when the rain starts falling. No, he stands. He covers. He fights. He doesn't just stay when it's convenient. He stays because commitment is in his DNA. A God-sent man doesn't just promise forever, he prepares for it. He takes responsibility, he's accountable, and he's got vision. He's thinking about where the two of you are going, not just where you are now. Now, let me leave you with this. If you have to force it, it's not from God. If you have to beg for love, that's not love at all. The man God has for you will show up in your life and align with your purpose, not distract you from it. He'll be a partner, not a project. And most of all, he'll love God more than he loves you, because only then can he love you the way you deserve. So don't settle. Don't compromise, and don't let the world tell you what love should look like. Let God do the sending, and when he does, you'll know. When God sends a man into your life, one of the clearest signs that he is the right one is that he strengthens your faith. He doesn't just believe in God himself. He encourages you to grow spiritually. He pushes you closer to your purpose, not away from it. He is the kind of man who doesn't just pray for you in silence. He takes your hands, bows his head, and prays with you. He knows that the foundation of a lasting relationship isn't just love, attraction, or compatibility. It's God. A man who strengthens your faith is intentional about spiritual growth. He leads by example, not just by words. You see him seeking wisdom in the Word, applying biblical principles to his life, and making decisions that align with God's plan. He doesn't just go to church, he lives out his faith in his actions. He encourages you to read Scripture, to seek God in your struggles, and to trust in his timing. When you are weak, he doesn't criticize or judge. He lifts you up, reminding you of God's promises. There will be times when doubts creep in, when life shakes your foundation, and when you question your path. A man truly sent by God won't let you stay in that space of uncertainty. He speaks life over you, reminds you of who you are in Christ, and stands in the gap for you in prayer. He sees your dreams, your purpose, and your calling, and he supports them in a way that aligns with God's will. He doesn't compete with your relationship with God. He complements it. His presence makes you want to become a better woman of faith, not out of obligation, but because his leadership inspires you to grow. A man sent by God leads with love and respect, not dominance or control. His leadership is not about power, it is about service. He understands that love is not just a feeling, but a responsibility, and he carries that responsibility with grace. His words uplift rather than tear down, and his actions reflect the heart of a man who values the woman God has placed in his life. He leads in a way that makes you feel safe, secure, and cherished, never inferior or insignificant. Respect is woven into everything he does. He listens when you speak, values your opinions, and considers your thoughts when making decisions. He does not dismiss your feelings, nor does he belittle your dreams. Instead, he stands beside you, supporting your growth and encouraging your success. He understands that true love cannot exist without respect, and he treats you in a way that reflects his understanding of your worth. His love is not conditional on perfection. He loves with patience, with kindness, and with a heart that mirrors Christ's love. He does not manipulate or play with emotions. His leadership is not about control, but about guidance. He respects your individuality and your personal walk with God. He makes decisions with you, not for you. When disagreements arise, he handles them with wisdom, seeking resolution rather than proving a point. He leads with a steady hand and a humble spirit, ensuring that his love is not just spoken, but shown in his daily actions. He protects your heart, nurtures your spirit, and honors you in private and in public. His love is a reflection of God's design for relationships, pure, intentional, and built on the foundation of respect that does not waver with circumstances. A man sent by God understands that prayer is the foundation of a strong relationship. He does not just pray for himself. He prays for you, with you, and over you. He knows that his love alone is not enough to sustain a relationship, but God's presence in the relationship makes all the difference. He intercedes for you in prayer, covering you in moments of weakness, standing in the gap when you are struggling, and seeking God's wisdom to lead both of you in the right direction. His prayers are not just routine or obligatory, they are intentional. He prays for your growth, your peace, and your purpose. He prays for clarity when you are uncertain, strength when you are weary, and joy in your victories. His prayers are not selfish. He does not only ask God for what benefits him, but he seeks God's best for you. He prays that you will walk boldly in your calling, that your faith will remain strong, and that your heart will be guarded from anything that is not of God. He does not hesitate to pray in times of difficulty. When trials come, he does not rely on his own strength. He turns to God first. He encourages you to do the same, reminding you that God is always in control. He does not let pride stop him from humbling himself before the Lord, showing that true strength comes from surrendering to God's will. He does not just pray when things are bad. He prays in moments of joy, gratitude, and celebration, always acknowledging that every blessing comes from above. His prayers are a reflection of his heart, proving that he seeks not just a relationship with you, but a relationship that is deeply rooted in God. A man sent by God understands the difference between protection and control. He does not see you as someone to be owned or manipulated, but as someone to be cherished and safeguarded. His protection is rooted in love, not in fear or insecurity. He wants the best for you, not because he seeks to limit you, but because he desires to see you thrive in every area of your life. His presence brings peace, not anxiety, and his actions create a safe space where you can be yourself without fear of judgment or restriction. He does not use his role in your life to dictate your choices or force his will upon you. Instead, he leads with wisdom, offering guidance and support while respecting your independence. He understands that true love does not seek to control, but to nurture. He does not demand obedience, nor does he make decisions for you. Rather, he provides insight and allows you to make choices that align with God's purpose. His goal is not to suppress your individuality, but to encourage it, ensuring that you feel empowered, not restricted. His protection is evident in the way he handles your heart, your emotions, and your well-being. He guards your spirit from negativity, shields you from harm, and stands in the way of anything that threatens your peace. He does not allow pride, anger, or insecurity to dictate his actions, but he moves with patience and understanding. When conflicts arise, he seeks resolution instead of control. His protection extends beyond the physical. He ensures that you are emotionally and spiritually safe in his presence. He does not use love as a weapon or a means of power, but as a source of strength, proving that his commitment is not about possession, but about providing a foundation of security and trust. A man sent by God recognizes that you are not just meant to stand beside him, but to walk in your own God-given purpose. He does not see your calling as a threat or distraction, but as something to be nurtured and encouraged. He understands that before you were his partner, you were God's creation, designed with gifts, talents, and a mission that is uniquely yours. Instead of holding you back, he pushes you forward, reminding you that your purpose is just as important as his. He does not diminish your dreams or belittle your aspirations. He listens when you speak about your goals, supports your ambitions, and finds ways to help you grow into the person God has called you to be. He does not make you feel guilty for pursuing your calling, nor does he expect you to sacrifice your purpose for the sake of the relationship. Instead, he encourages you to seek God's will, to step boldly into opportunities, and to trust that God has placed those desires in your heart for a reason. His support is not just in words, but in action. He celebrates your achievements, offers wisdom in moments of doubt, and stands by you when challenges arise. He reminds you that your purpose is not something to be postponed or abandoned, but something to be embraced fully. He prays for your success, challenges you to grow, and reassures you when you question your path. He understands that a strong relationship is one where both individuals are thriving, not just existing. His encouragement is not based on personal gain, but on a genuine desire to see you fulfill the destiny that God has designed for you. He walks with you, not ahead of you, ensuring that together you are both growing into everything God has called you to be. A man sent by God walks in integrity, not just when others are watching, but in every area of his life. His character is not shaped by convenience or circumstance, but by a deep commitment to honesty, righteousness, and truth. He does not say one thing and do another. His words and actions align, proving that he is a man of principle. He does what is right even when it is difficult, even when no one is there to hold him accountable, because his integrity is not about appearances, it is about who he is at his core. His honesty is evident in the way he communicates. He does not manipulate, deceive, or twist words to serve his own interests. He is transparent about his intentions, his struggles, and his growth. He does not make empty promises or say things just to appease others. When he commits to something, he follows through. He understands that trust is built on consistency, and he does not take that trust lightly. He does not engage in behaviors that compromise his values, and he refuses to entertain dishonesty in any form. He treats people with fairness and respect, not just those who can offer him something, but everyone he encounters. He does not compromise his morals for personal gain, nor does he justify wrongdoing with excuses. He understands that integrity is not about perfection, but about striving to do what is right in every situation. When he makes mistakes, he owns them. When he falls short, he seeks to make it right. He does not live a double life or hide behind a facade. He stands firm in his beliefs and ensures that his actions reflect the values he claims to uphold. His integrity is not just a trait, it is a foundation that defines who he is. A man sent by God is patient and understanding, not just when things are easy, but especially when times are difficult. He does not rush love, demand perfection, or expect you to always have the right answers. He knows that growth takes time, that healing is a process, and that true love is built on a foundation of grace. He does not pressure you into decisions or become frustrated when things do not go his way. Instead, he gives you space to evolve, to learn, and to walk in the timing that God has set for your life. His patience is evident in how he handles conflict. He does not lash out in anger or respond with frustration when there is a misunderstanding. He listens before reacting, seeks clarity before assuming, and values resolution over being right. He does not let pride dictate his actions, nor does he allow temporary emotions to create permanent damage. He understands that love requires humility, and he is willing to work through challenges rather than walk away from them. He is understanding in moments of weakness. He does not judge you for your past, nor does he criticize you for your flaws. He sees you as a work in progress, just as he is, and he embraces the journey with you. He encourages open communication, allowing you to express yourself without fear of judgment or rejection. He acknowledges that you are different people with unique experiences, and he seeks to understand your heart rather than impose his own perspective. His patience is not passive. It is an active choice to love, support, and stand by you in all circumstances. He does not give up when things get tough, but rather he remains steady, proving that true love is not just about feelings. It is about commitment, endurance, and understanding. A man sent by God communicates with honesty, not just when it is convenient, but as a principle that governs his relationships. He understands that true love cannot exist without truth, and he does not shy away from difficult conversations. He speaks with clarity, sincerity, and a heart that values transparency. He does not hide behind vague words, half-truths, or silence. Instead, he makes an effort to express his thoughts, feelings, and intentions in a way that leaves no room for confusion. His honesty is not harsh or careless. He does not use truth as a weapon to hurt or control, but as a tool to build trust and strengthen the relationship. He understands that honesty requires wisdom, and he chooses his words carefully, ensuring that what he says is both truthful and kind. He does not manipulate conversations to shift blame or twist reality to fit his narrative. He owns his mistakes, acknowledges when he is wrong, and makes corrections rather than excuses. Rather than constructive, he only creates further intensity to it, and 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 to it. He listens as much as he speaks. His communication is not one-sided, where only his voice matters. He values your thoughts, opinions, and emotions, creating a space where both of you can share openly without fear. He does not dismiss your feelings or avoid difficult discussions. He engages with patience and understanding. When challenges arise, he seeks resolution through honest dialogue, rather than shutting down or walking away. His words and actions align, proving that his honesty is not just something he speaks, but something he lives. He does not make promises he cannot keep or say things he does not mean. His commitment to truth provides stability, ensuring that the relationship is built on a foundation of trust, where both individuals feel safe to be vulnerable and understood. A man sent by God will not be intimidated by your growth. He will celebrate it. He understands that a healthy relationship is not about control or competition, but about uplifting each other to become the best versions of yourselves. He does not see your ambitions, dreams, or personal growth as a threat to his role in your life. Instead, he encourages you to step into your purpose with confidence, knowing that your success does not diminish his worth, but strengthens your partnership. He takes an active role in supporting your personal and spiritual development. He listens intently when you share your dreams, offers wisdom when you face obstacles, and stands beside you as you take steps forward. He does not just tolerate your ambitions, he actively champions them, offering encouragement, resources, and a belief in your abilities when you doubt yourself. He reminds you that God has called you to something greater, and that your gifts were given to be used, not hidden. His support is not limited to words. His actions match his encouragement. He makes sacrifices to help you grow, whether that means adjusting his own schedule to support your dreams or being your biggest cheerleader in moments of doubt. He does not compete with you or feel the need to assert dominance over your success. Instead, he celebrates your victories as if they were his own and stands by you in moments of struggle. He prays for your growth and asks God to guide your steps, seeking wisdom not just for himself, but for both of you as a team. He believes that when you thrive, the relationship thrives. His love does not stifle or restrict. It empowers, uplifts, and strengthens, allowing you both to fulfill God's purpose for your lives together. A man sent by God understands the weight of responsibility that comes with love, commitment, and leadership. He does not run from accountability, but embraces it as a crucial part of his role in your life. He does not make excuses or shift blame when challenges arise. Instead, he takes full responsibility for his words, actions, and the direction of the relationship. He recognizes that love is not just about emotions, but about consistency, trust, and integrity. He keeps his word and follows through on his promises, no matter how small. If he says he will do something, he does it. If he makes a mistake, he is quick to own up to it and make things right. He does not let pride stand in the way of growth, nor does he allow his ego to dictate how he treats you. Instead of being defensive when confronted with his shortcomings, he listens, learns, and makes an effort to improve. His leadership is not about control, but about selflessness. He leads by example, ensuring that his actions align with his faith and values. He understands that being the man God has sent for you means being someone who can be trusted to lead with wisdom, integrity, and a heart that seeks to serve. His decisions are not driven by selfish desires, but by a genuine concern for what is best for both of you. He takes his role seriously, knowing that love is not about power, but about mutual respect and partnership. He is a protector, a provider, and a man whose actions reflect the kind of unwavering love and devotion that God has called him to have. He proves his love through the way he treats you, values you, and leads with honor. Respect is one of the most crucial elements in any God-centered relationship, and a man sent by God will always honor your boundaries. He understands that love is not about control or domination, but about mutual understanding, trust, and care. He values your thoughts, feelings, and convictions, never pressuring you to do anything that goes against your beliefs, morals, or comfort. Instead, he listens when you express your needs and respects the standards you have set for yourself and the relationship. A man sent by God recognizes that you are a person with your own dreams, ambitions, and personal limits. He does not try to mold you into someone you are not, but embraces who you are while encouraging you to become even better. He values your voice and ensures that your opinions and decisions are heard and considered. He does not dismiss your emotions, belittle your concerns, or make you feel unimportant. Instead, he validates your thoughts and supports your choices, helping you grow in confidence and faith. His respect extends beyond words. It is evident in his actions. He does not engage in manipulation, guilt-tripping, or coercion to get his way. He understands that love should be built on trust and mutual understanding, not control or dominance. His words are not harsh or filled with criticism. Instead, they are kind, patient, and meant to build you up rather than tear you down. Even in disagreements, he does not resort to insults or disrespect, but communicates with wisdom, always striving for resolution. He values your worth as a person and treats you with dignity, whether in private or in public. He does not entertain disrespectful behavior from others toward you and is protective of your honor. He sees you as his partner, not as someone inferior, and he appreciates your individuality, opinions, and aspirations. His love is not based on conditions or demands, but on a deep-rooted respect for the person you are and the woman God has called you to be. A man sent by God loves selflessly, not seeking his own gain, but genuinely desiring what is best for you. His love is not based on convenience, personal benefit, or superficial attraction. It is rooted in a deep commitment to honor, cherish, and support you through all seasons of life. He does not love you only when things are easy or when he is getting what he wants. Instead, his love remains steadfast even when challenges arise, proving that his intentions are pure and not based on selfish desires. His love mirrors Christ's love, patient, kind, and sacrificial. He does not keep a record of what he has done for you, expecting something in return. He gives his time, energy, and effort freely because he values you, not because he seeks recognition or validation. He does not love with conditions or ultimatums, nor does he manipulate or guilt trip you into meeting his needs. Instead, he prioritizes your well-being, ensuring that you feel safe, secure, and deeply cared for in his presence. He places your needs before his own, not in a way that diminishes himself, but in a way that reflects his understanding of true love. He does not see you as someone to serve him, but as someone to serve alongside him. His love is shown in his daily actions, through his patience when you are struggling, his encouragement when you are uncertain, and his unwavering support when you need strength. His selfless love does not mean he is without needs or desires, but he does not let selfishness dictate his actions. He understands that love is not just about receiving, but about giving freely, without fear or hesitation. He loves in a way that is pure, honorable, and reflective of God's divine intention for relationships, ensuring that his love is always an example of grace, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. A man sent by God is not just passionate in the beginning, he is consistent in his love, actions, and commitment over time. He does not rely on fleeting emotions or grand gestures to prove his devotion. Instead, he shows up every day, in both the exciting moments and the ordinary ones, demonstrating that his love is not temporary or conditional. His consistency is what makes his love reliable, creating a foundation of trust that is not shaken by circumstances or time. He does not only pursue you when things are new and exciting, only to withdraw once the relationship requires effort and endurance. His actions are steady, his words align with his behavior, and his promises are not empty. He understands that true love is not just about intense feelings, but about showing up, doing the work, and remaining committed even when emotions fluctuate. He does not let mood swings, external pressures, or temporary frustrations dictate how he treats you. Instead, he maintains a level of respect, kindness, and intentionality that reassures you of his sincerity. His consistency extends to every aspect of the relationship. He does not love you one day and disregard you the next. He does not communicate affection only when it benefits him. He remains patient, understanding, and present, regardless of the season you are in. His love is not just about the highs of romance, but about the steady commitment that holds a relationship together when challenges arise. He knows that passion alone is not enough to sustain love. While passion may ignite a relationship, it is consistency that keeps it strong. His love is a reflection of God's love, faithful, unwavering, and enduring. He remains a source of stability, proving through his actions that his love is not just an emotional rush, but a lifelong commitment. A man sent by God values peace over conflict and unity over division. He does not create unnecessary drama, stir up tension, or thrive on chaos. Instead, he seeks harmony in the relationship, choosing understanding over pride and resolution over argument. He does not allow anger, ego, or stubbornness to dictate his actions, but approaches challenges with patience, wisdom, and a heart that desires reconciliation. He does not escalate conflicts, but works to de-escalate them. When disagreements arise, he does not resort to shouting, insults, or manipulation. He listens with an open heart, seeking to understand rather than to prove a point. He values communication and strives to address issues with maturity and respect. He does not let small misunderstandings grow into major rifts, nor does he allow resentment to build over time. Instead, he prioritizes peace, knowing that love is not about winning arguments, but about growing together. His role as a peacemaker is not about avoiding issues or pretending that problems do not exist. He is not passive when it comes to resolving conflicts. He takes responsibility for his actions, apologizes when he is wrong, and makes an effort to improve. He encourages open and honest conversations, ensuring that both of you feel heard and valued. His peace extends beyond the relationship. He is not someone who engages in gossip, seeks revenge, or enjoys seeing others in turmoil. He walks with integrity, treating people with kindness and respect. His presence brings calmness, not chaos. He does not let pride destroy what love has built, and he does not allow negativity to poison what God has blessed. He understands that love flourishes in an atmosphere of peace, and he actively works to create and maintain that environment, making the relationship a safe and secure place for both of you. A man sent by God does not live aimlessly, moving from day to day without direction. He has a vision for his future, a purpose that guides his decisions, and a desire to build a life that aligns with God's will. He is not content with simply going through the motions. He seeks to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. He understands that a strong relationship is built on a shared future, and he is intentional about creating that with you. His vision is not just about personal success or material gain, but about fulfilling God's plan for his life. He seeks wisdom and guidance through prayer, making choices that reflect his faith and values. He does not lead blindly or recklessly, but takes responsibility for his actions and considers how his decisions will impact both of you. He is a man of purpose, driven not by selfish ambition, but by a desire to create a stable, loving, and spiritually grounded future. His vision includes you. He does not only think about his own goals, but makes room for yours as well. He recognizes your calling and supports your dreams, ensuring that you are growing alongside him. He does not hinder your purpose, but encourages you to walk in it boldly. He makes plans for the relationship, discussing marriage, family, and the life you both want to build together. He does not shy away from commitment or avoid difficult conversations about the future. Instead, he leads with clarity, confidence, and faith, ensuring that every step taken is aligned with God's will. His vision gives you confidence in the relationship because you know that he is not here to waste time or play with your heart. His actions and words reveal that he sees a future with you, one filled with love, faith, and a shared journey toward God's greater purpose. A man sent by God understands that wisdom does not come from prideful independence, but from seeking counsel and learning from those who have walked before him. He does not rely solely on his own understanding, but values the insight of wise mentors, spiritual leaders, and those with godly wisdom. He knows that making decisions based only on emotions or personal desires can lead to mistakes. So he humbly seeks guidance to ensure that his choices align with God's will. He surrounds himself with people who encourage his growth, challenge him to be better, and hold him accountable. He does not entertain negative influences or allow pride to prevent him from receiving correction. When he is uncertain, he does not rush into decisions recklessly, but takes time to pray, reflect, and listen to those who have wisdom to offer. He respects the voices of those who have strong spiritual foundations, recognizing that their advice is rooted in experience, faith, and a genuine desire for his well-being. His willingness to listen to wise counsel is evident in how he handles challenges within the relationship. He does not react impulsively or let his emotions take control. Instead, he seeks advice from those who can offer biblical truth and practical wisdom. He does not dismiss your concerns or assume he has all the answers. Rather, he values open discussions and considers how both of you can grow together in the right direction. His teachable spirit is a reflection of his humility. He understands that no one is perfect and that learning is a lifelong journey. He is willing to change, to grow, and to adjust his ways when necessary. His ability to listen and apply wisdom strengthens the relationship, ensuring that it is built on a foundation of faith, understanding, and godly principles. A man sent by God does not take marriage and commitment lightly. He understands that love is more than just emotions. It is a covenant, a sacred bond that reflects God's design for relationships. He does not see commitment as a burden, but as a privilege, a responsibility that he willingly accepts. His actions show that he values faithfulness, loyalty, and the promise to stand by your side, not just when things are easy, but through every season of life. He does not entertain distractions, temptations, or anything that would compromise the integrity of the relationship. He guards his heart, mind, and actions, ensuring that his love for you remains pure and undivided. He does not seek validation outside of the relationship, nor does he allow his commitment to waver based on fleeting emotions. His loyalty is steadfast, proving that he is not just present for the good times, but fully devoted to building something lasting and meaningful. His honor for marriage is seen in the way he prepares for it. He does not rush into a relationship without purpose, nor does he play with emotions. He is intentional, making sure that every step he takes is leading toward a future built on faith and trust. He is not afraid of commitment, nor does he use it as a tool for control. Instead, he sees it as a partnership, a journey where both individuals grow together under God's guidance. He respects the institution of marriage and treats it with the honor it deserves. He does not view it as just a contract, but as a divine union meant to reflect love, grace, and sacrifice. His words, actions, and decisions are all aligned with a heart that is fully committed, proving that he sees love not as something temporary, but as a lifelong promise. A man sent by God carries himself with humility, recognizing that he is not the ultimate authority, but a servant of the one who is. He does not seek to exalt himself above others, nor does he rely solely on his own strength and wisdom. Instead, he submits to God's will, knowing that true leadership begins with obedience and a heart that is willing to be molded. He understands that pride leads to destruction, but humility opens the door for God to work through him. He acknowledges that he does not have all the answers and does not pretend to be perfect. When he falls short, he is quick to seek forgiveness from God and from those he may have wronged. He does not let arrogance blind him to his faults or make him resistant to correction. Instead, he embraces growth, always striving to be a better man, a better partner, and a better servant in God's kingdom. His humility allows him to be teachable, open to learning, and willing to admit when he needs guidance. His humility is also evident in how he treats others. He does not look down on people or try to prove his worth by asserting dominance. He treats everyone with kindness, respect, and compassion, regardless of status or background. He does not boast about his achievements, but gives glory to God, recognizing that every blessing comes from above. He serves without expecting anything in return, and his love is not based on pride, but on selfless devotion. His relationship with God is not just something he displays in public. It is an intimate, personal connection that he nurtures daily. He prays not just to ask for blessings, but to seek God's wisdom and strength. He trusts in God's plan over his own, humbly submitting his desires, decisions, and dreams to the one who knows best. His humility is not weakness, it is his greatest strength, allowing him to lead with grace, wisdom, and a heart fully surrendered to God's purpose. A man sent by God is not someone you have to fix, change, or mold into who you want him to be. He comes into the relationship as a partner, not as a project that requires constant rebuilding. He is already walking in his purpose, growing in his faith, and striving to be the man God has called him to be. He does not rely on you to be his savior or expect you to carry the weight of his personal growth. Instead, he takes responsibility for his actions, his spiritual journey, and his emotional maturity. He does not wait for you to push him toward growth or force him into accountability. He understands that true change comes from within and through a relationship with God, not from external pressure. He seeks wisdom, works on his weaknesses, and allows God to refine him. He does not use his past or struggles as an excuse to remain stagnant. Instead, he is proactive about healing, learning, and improving himself so that he can be the best partner for you. Being with him does not feel like a burden. You are not constantly trying to convince him to do better, to be more responsible, or to take his faith seriously. He walks alongside you, equally invested in the relationship and the journey you are building together. He does not drain you emotionally, spiritually, or mentally, because he is not dependent on you to be his source of growth. Instead, he encourages you, uplifts you, and allows you to flourish without feeling the need to control or rely on you for validation. A relationship with him is a partnership built on mutual respect, love, and shared purpose. You are not his teacher, therapist, or savior. You are his equal, walking together toward God's purpose with a foundation of faith, commitment, and unwavering support. A man sent by God understands that his love for you should never surpass his love for God. His relationship with God is the foundation of his life, guiding his decisions, shaping his character, and influencing the way he loves. He does not place you above his faith, nor does he expect you to fulfill the role that only God can in his heart. Instead, he seeks God first, knowing that when his heart is aligned with God's will, he can love you in the way you deserve. His love for God is not just something he speaks about, it is reflected in his actions. He prays not just for himself, but for you and for the relationship. He turns to God for wisdom rather than relying on his own understanding. He values God's word and applies it to his life, ensuring that his choices are guided by faith rather than impulse. Because he is rooted in God, he leads with patience, kindness, and selflessness, never allowing his emotions or personal desires to dictate the way he treats you. Loving God more than he loves you does not mean he neglects or undervalues the relationship. On the contrary, it means he honors and cherishes it even more. Because he fears the Lord, he does not take love lightly. He is committed, faithful, and intentional about the way he nurtures the relationship. He respects you as a daughter of God, understanding that his love for you should be a reflection of Christ's love, pure, sacrificial, and unwavering. His spiritual foundation gives you confidence because you know that his love is not based on fleeting emotions, but on something eternal. He is not swayed by temptation or worldly distractions because his heart is fixed on God. And because he puts God first, he loves you with a love that is steadfast, enduring, and deeply rooted in faith. A man sent by God is not just someone who makes you happy for a moment. He is someone who builds a future with you, leads with love, and honors God in every aspect of the relationship. He does not rely on empty words, but proves his love through consistent actions, unwavering commitment, and a faith that stands strong even in trial. He does not complete you because only God can do that, but he complements you, walking beside you as a partner, not as a project. True love is not about grand gestures or temporary passion. It is about a steady, faithful, and godly connection that reflects Christ's love for the church. When a man is truly sent by God, you will not have to beg for his love, chase after his commitment, or question his intentions. His love will bring peace, not confusion. His leadership will bring security, not control. His presence will uplift, not drain you. A relationship centered on God is built to last because it is not dependent on human strength, but on divine guidance. When a man loves God more than he loves you, he will love you in the right way, selflessly, faithfully, and intentionally. If you find yourself constantly questioning whether he is the one God has sent, step back and evaluate. A God-sent man will not only love you, he will lead you closer to Christ, protect your heart, and encourage your purpose. Do not settle for potential or empty promises. Wait for the man whose love is steady, whose faith is unwavering, and whose commitment is rooted in something greater than emotions. The right man will not make you doubt his love, and he will not lead you away from God. Instead, he will be a reflection of God's love, showing you through his actions that he was never meant